All right, guys. How were the breakout sessions? Hold on. Hey, guys, can you turn my mic on? I don't think they heard me. How were the breakout sessions? Yeah. Clap. Talk loud through the mask. Hey, have y'all figured out how to drink the water through the mask yet, though? That's like the harder part. I hadn't figured that out. I've gone through 3 masks already today. So here's the deal. We're going to bring up our next speaker. Would that be great? You're like, who is this guy? And why won't he shut up? And that's a question my wife's been asking for at least 16 years. So here's the deal, though. Our next speaker is going to talk to us about something that I would assume you're all probably pretty interested in if you're at something called the Stronger Business Summit. You guys want to talk about money? Is that okay to talk about money? Is it okay? Cancel the next talk. It's not okay to talk about money. Is it okay to talk about money? We got to have some energy in the room, people. Come on. There we go. Let's get stronger. It's the Stronger Business Summit. So we're going to talk about some money. And I think for every single one of you, if you'll listen to what's going to be said here, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a professional, whatever it is that you do, you're going to get valuable insight. And I believe if you have your swag bags, there may be something in there for you on this. This is valuable insight that if you will choose to apply, and to apply immediately, your 2021 financial picture will be probably the best you've ever had. Because this wisdom, and when you apply it, you're going to bear some fruit on your tree. So this speaker has owned over 20 businesses in his career. You think now I'm talking this, he must be like 95 years old. He's not. He's 40. He is fit at 40. Tons of businesses. He knows his stuff because his primary business is in helping people with their accounting, helping entrepreneurs make money, helping professionals make money. Do you want to make some money? We're not in church. We can talk about money without having any reservation. Do you want to make some money? Do you want me to bring out the next speaker? Yeah, there you go. You're like, get off the stage. So you guys help me welcome the serial CFO, Mr. Chad Brown.
So are you guys ready to make some money? Are y'all ready to get financially stronger? All right. This is not your boring financial talk focused on budgets or clipping coupons, eating ramen noodles, or poring over stupid spreadsheets. Today, we're going to talk about how to easily make more profit, increase your profit, and we're going to take a high-octane ride down the road of making more money faster and easier than you ever have before. This is where you turn that $75 ticket price into $1,000, a $10,000, maybe a $100,000, maybe a $500,000 return on investment. That gets me excited. If that doesn't get you excited, something's wrong. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready to make more money? Yes. Are you ready to get financially stronger? Now you're speaking my love language. Now we're talking. I'm going to teach you how to set profit goals, how to build wins, and how to build the steps to easily achieve those profit goals today. And this is going to apply to everybody in the room. If you're a startup entrepreneur, if you are a mid-sized business with 40 employees, if you're a mom and pop business, or you're a $300 million corporation with 500 employees, you can use things I'm teaching you today to become financially stronger and make this a win for you. We're going to increase profit, and we're going to make it easy. A lot of you out there are thinking, oh my God, I hate this stuff. I'm not a math person. I hate math. I hate numbers. My wife's here in the audience somewhere. My wife is not a math person. My wife hates numbers. A lot of you are the same way. That's okay. You hate numbers. Maybe you failed accounting in school. We're not going to talk about all that today. We're going to make it easy. I'm going to teach you how making money and increasing profit is as easy as driving a car. It's going to be that simple. I'm a car guy. Any of you that's been to my house, you've probably seen my barn collection. My wife, she calls my collection toys or junk. I call them investments. I love 60s and 70s vintage vehicles. They're easy to work on, they're fun and cool to drive, and they're constantly going up in value. It checks all the boxes for me. So right now on my dream list is a mid-60s C2 Corvette. I want one of these desperately. Look at that beauty. That's a beautiful car. That is the classic, ideal sports car. I love it. The reason I'm showing you this is we're going to talk about this off and on today as I teach you some of these tips to increase profit and show you it's just as easy as driving this car. And this is one of my goals. This is one of my dream lists. So when I hit these profit numbers, I'm going to use that to buy some things that are on my dream list. So let's dive in. Let's talk about things a little bit. We're going to start with the basics. And some of you know these things, but you need a refresher course, and some of you don't know these things. So first off, we need to start, we got to know our stuff. You've got to know the basics. You've got to know your stuff. It's really important. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the basics of revenue, cost of goods, expenses, and profit. And you're like, oh my God, here we go. You can't just depend on your accountant to know these numbers. You can't depend on this guy to grow your business. I mean, seriously. How many businesses has this guy grown? How many millions of dollars has this guy ever made? If you're depending on this guy to grow your business and help you crush all your profit goals in 2021, you're in trouble. Now, this guy's awesome. This guy's a tool. This is the guy that helps you save $30,000 in taxes. This is the guy that says, hey, I need you to go down to Athens Ford on Atlanta Highway, buy a new F-150 or Expedition, or maybe that cool new Bronco. By the end of the year, we'll write this thing off and we'll save you $30,000 in taxes. That's awesome. This guy's a tool. He's a huge tool. He's going to save you money. He's going to teach you these things that make a difference, put money in your pocket, but he's not going to help you grow your business to the high levels of profit and success. You've got to do that as an owner. Just like we talked about with a car, your mechanic's the same way. Your mechanic's a tool. Your mechanic doesn't drive your car for you. He doesn't get you to your destination. You shouldn't depend on your accountant to do the same. It's on all of you as business owners to know these basics and to understand these things so you can take your business to the next level of profit. Let's get back to the car for a second. Lauren, I want to ask you a question. If I said, hey, Lauren, I need you to get in this car and I need you to drive it to San Francisco. Could you do that? Yes, of course. Seems easy, right? All right, let's dive in a little more. What if I said, hey, Lauren, this car is parked right out in front of the Classic Center right now. Give me your phone, no maps. Look, this thing's a manual transmission. It's a 4-speed. I need you to go out there right now with no phone, no map, manual transmission, get in this car and drive it to San Francisco. Can you do it? For those of you that didn't hear that, she says, I can't drive a stick. You can't, right? So it is the same with your business. If you're not understanding the basics, if you don't know the tools to drive your business, or you don't have a roadmap, you can't get to where you need to be from a profit standpoint or a goal standpoint. Just like Lauren can't get to San Francisco without fully understanding how to operate the car and having a map to get there. So when it comes to business, we are going to talk about the tools and the roadmap to get you to the profit where you need to be. In this car example, we look at the tools in the car. There's a steering wheel, there's keys to start the car, there's the manual stick transmission, there's oil in the tank. If you're driving to San Francisco, you better know how to use these things or you're not going to get there. So with your business, it's exactly the same. We're going to start with revenue. And this is basic stuff here. I promise I'm not going to spend long on these topics. Some of you know this. Just stick with me for a few minutes. This is integral to taking us to the next level and crushing our goals. We're going to start with revenue. I'm going to use a restaurant example. Revenue is what your customer pays you. If I'm a restaurant and I sell a steak for $40 and my customer gives me $40 and I give them a steak, my revenue is $40. Revenue is money coming in. That's pretty simple. Cost of goods sold is the next one. This is where we get a little tricky. Some of you know this, you've heard this, you don't really know what it means. Cost of goods sold is the cost you have in the direct product you're giving to the customer. In our restaurant example, it is the cost they have in this steak to get it on the customer's plate. So this restaurant, they pay $12 for the raw steak. They pay a chef $10 to marinate it and cook the steak. They have $22 in the steak to put it on the customer's plate. They sell it for $40, they have $22 in it. That is their direct cost for this steak. Now, when you take your revenue, you minus your cost of goods, that equals your gross profit or your profit margin. This is extremely important. I need you to listen here. The reason gross profit and profit margin is so important is if you're not making any money at that point on each individual product you sell, you have a problem. I had a client come to me 12, 13 years ago. They were a restaurant. They sold steaks. They said, hey, Chad, we need an accountant. We're not making any money. We don't know why. We're doing $900,000 a year in business, and we can't make a profit. They said, I think we need to advertise. I think we need to sell more steaks. We need to get more people in the door Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We got to do some discounts. We got to do some sales. I said, well, hold on. Let me dive into the numbers. Let's look. Turns out this restaurant, they were buying the highest end grass-fed beef they could find, paying a tremendous amount per steak, making it perfect. They were also paying the highest priced top-end chefs they could hire. Highest priced steaks, highest top-end shelves, their cost of goods in their model was $45. They were charging $40 for the steak. They had $45 in the steak, delivering it to a customer for $40. They were losing $5 a steak. That's before they got into all the other stuff, the expenses and everything else that goes along with it. So every steak they sold, they were losing money. They thought they needed to sell more steaks. That would have put them out of business in less than 6 months. This is, as a business owner, why you need to know your numbers. As a manager, you need to understand your numbers. If you're discounting your product or you don't know your profit margin or gross profit, you're in real trouble. Everybody should know these things. I bet I could ask 99% of you right now, 2020 year to date, what's your gross profit? 99% of you would not know the answer to that, and that's a problem. These things aren't that complicated. It's not horrible math. It's easy stuff. You just got to plug it into your schedule and do it. So the next line item's easy. It's expenses. That's your overhead. That's your rent, your utilities, your cost of goods are above, your expenses are below, your accounting, all the things that go along advertising, those are easy ones. So at the end of the day, we're going to end up at profit, and that's the important one. I told you these basics because we were getting to profit because that's how we're setting our goals and how we're going to crush it financially in 2021. So you got your revenue minus your cost of goods sold minus your expenses equals your profit. And profit's the one that we want to know about. That's the one we're going to circle. So let's look at it on a little larger scale. When we do that, revenue is, and my clicker doesn't work anymore. I was pushing the wrong button. Sorry. Where we're going so we can know how to get there. Lauren, in your example, you're driving to San Francisco. We know the finish line. Now I need you to think about what's the finish line for 2021 in your business. What is your profit number? What are you going to hit in profit in 2021? If you aim at nothing, you will hit nothing. Right now, we're going to determine what our profit is in 2021. This is your moment. This is where you call your shot. This is your Babe Ruth time where you point the bat and say, my profit is this in 2021. If all of you will look in your welcome bag, there's a handout. There's a place we can write these things down. If you want to participate right now and go along with us and write things down, I've got a handout in your welcome bag. You can pull that out and you can write along as we go. I highly encourage you, if you want to go back and implement these things, write this down now or take it back to your office and do it this weekend. This is what's going to make a difference, making your business financially stronger. So with Lauren, we know where she's going. She's going to San Francisco. We got to figure out where you're going as a business. Right now, what is your profit projections for 2021? You probably know what you're projected for 2020. Some of you can take that and want that same thing in 2021. Some of you have higher goals. Let's use an example I have. One of the businesses I own is a tax office. Right now, my 2021 profit goal is $200,000. I want to make $200,000 in 2021, and I wrote that down on my handout. I want you to think about and write down what your 2021 profit goal is right now. This is our end in mind. This is our destination where we're going. All right, here's the next step. I want you to add 50% to it. For those of you out there that are not math people, take out your smartphone, times that first number by 1.5. That'll get you there. For me, it's $300,000. That's 50% more than the 200 I was shooting for in 2021. I know that sounds crazy. I know you think, wow, there's no way. I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to show you how to make 50%, at least 50% more profit in 21 than you were expecting. How do we do that? We're going to build some wins, we're going to build the steps, and we're going to crush it. So making $300,000 in profit is my target. That's my San Francisco. This is my goal. This is what I'm going after. This is everything I'm going to do for the next several months, is build towards this. But that's not enough. Profit's not enough. Money's not enough. That's not going to get you through the hard times. The next step is determining what this means for you. If I make $300,000 in profit, this means I can do what? This is my why. This is why I'm doing this. This is how I'm turning my profit into something that makes a difference in my life and in the lives of others. You got to decide what it means to you if you hit this number. Maybe it's buying a new house. You want a bigger house, or you want a house in a better school district so your kids have a better education. Maybe buying a new house means a bigger yard for your kids to play in. This could mean taking care of your parents, being able to financially take care of your parents. It could mean you could retire early. It could mean you could hire more employees and give people more opportunity and grow more people's lives in your business. This may be something that gives you more freedom. That's a big one for us as entrepreneurs. That's huge freedom. Maybe it allows us to only work 3 days a week moving forward. How are you going to use this profit to determine something that changes your life and those around you? That is your why. That is why we're doing this. That is the next step in understanding what we're doing and getting us through the tough spots in 2021. Maybe it's you're going to use this profit to buy a rental house to make more investments. There's 1,000 things that you can find your why through profit. I need you to think about those and write those down. You write those down, you need to save that whenever you're working long hours, you're working on the weekend, when things get hard, when you're scooping stuff up, dealing with it like Kevin talked about. This is going to be your why. This is going to keep you going after that target and that goal for 2021. So, we have determined what our profit goal is. We've determined our end in mind. That's the $300,000. What we're going to do now is build the roadmap and the steps to get there. And again, I'm telling you, if you'll do these things, it is just as easy as driving a car from Athens, Georgia to San Francisco. We look at our map here. Lauren, Google says with drive time and stopping to sleep and stopping 8 or 10 times to get gas and do all those things, it's going to take you 60 hours to get to San Francisco. I'm going to challenge you to find a way to do it 50% faster. How do you get there 50% faster and safer? I don't want it to take you 60 hours. I want it to take you 40, and I want you to get there faster. That sounds crazy, right? Maybe like increasing your profit by 50%. It's not that crazy. Here's all it takes. The first step in doing that is brainstorming. You have to brainstorm in your business. I need you to write this down. I need you to put a note in your phone. If you're not currently brainstorming in your business, you're costing yourself a lot of growth and a lot of money. You need to be having a brainstorming session once a month with your team. You need to schedule a couple hours a month. You have a brainstorming session, and you sit down as a team, and you think about how do we grow, what are some crazy things. In Lauren's car trip example, we're going to do some brainstorming. How do I improve my time? We're just throwing stuff against the wall. I could put a cooler in the car, keep lunch in there, go by the grocery store before I leave. I don't have to stop for lunch. Don't have to stop for dinner. That saves some time. I could put disc brakes on the car. Don't have to get a brake job halfway. Makes it faster, makes it safer. It's a good idea. I could add some turbo to the car, make it faster. I could, here's something crazy. I could do a bathroom hose, or have some hose where I can go to the bathroom while I'm driving. It dumps out on the road. I don't know, we're thinking crazy stuff. We're brainstorming, just throwing stuff against the wall. What's something else crazy? A helicopter. I'm gonna have a helicopter that flies ahead and tells me what's going on with traffic in the road, make sure I'm going the right way. I could add some things to the car's engine, make it more efficient on fuel. Don't have to stop as much. All these are great brainstorming ideas. Not a wrong answer. Let's just have some fun, do some brainstorming. Okay, here's the key. Here's where you take this from brainstorming to action. We're going to pick 3 wins. What are the 3 things we can do and implement to make this faster and go from 60 hours to 40? We're going to circle those. We wrote down our brainstorming session. I love doing this on a whiteboard. You can do it however you want to in your company. These are the 3 things we're going to do. We're going to get radio traffic reports. We're going to have people radio in what's going on with traffic. We're not going to get stuck in rush hours as we go through cities. This is going to save us several hours. We know to reroute before we ever get there. Lauren's going to know stuff ahead of time. That's awesome. Doesn't really cost us that much money. Easy to implement. Number 2, brilliant. We're going to add another driver. Somebody's going to go with Lauren. I'm going to go with her. Now she can sleep while I drive and vice versa. Now we don't have to stop and sleep. That's going to save us at least 10 hours. We get to keep driving, and she's got somebody to keep her company, so it's going to be safer and faster. The last item, this sounds crazy, pit crew. We can't afford a pit crew. What does that mean? Well, pit crew is we're just going to set up 3 service stations along the way. We're going to call ahead and say, hey, I'm coming through this day, this time. I need you to have tires ready, put fuel in my car, check my oil, and throw me a sandwich in there. I'm coming through this day, this time. There's 3 of you along the way. I'll have a check ready. So now we got our own pit crew along the way. So with a simple brainstorming session and picking 3 wins, we have found a way to map out Lauren's San Francisco trip and have found a way to get there in 40 hours instead of 60. It hasn't cost us that much money. It hasn't been that much work. It is safer, easier, and faster now because we implemented brainstorming and these 3 wins. This is the same thing I need you to do with your business, and I'm going to challenge you to do today. You'll have your business. That's where you're at right now, profit. The finish, the stronger 2021, that is the place you wrote down your 50% higher profit target number. So we know where we're at. We know where we're going. We just got to do the brainstorming to figure out the 3 wins to get us there. Let's jump back to my tax office example. My win, my stronger 2021 is $300,000 in profit. So I'm going to brainstorm. How do I get from where I'm at now, $200,000 in profit, to $300,000? It's just as easy as the car example. We're going to throw some things against the wall, see what come up with. I could join the chamber board, run for the chamber board, try to get a position there. That builds more connections for me. I'm networking more. That'll grow my business. That's a great idea. Love that idea. Create an online price sheet, some transparency for pricing. My customers, my new customers can see what we charge. That should help. I could hire a new CPA. I could better train employees, train them to upsell, do some things like that to help my business. I could do some business courses. I could record some videos, do some things where I sell videos and accounting courses online. That would help. I could build better client experiences, charge them more money. I could outsource payroll. I could hire an assistant. All of these things are brainstorming ideas to make my business better. But I'm only picking 3. Why only pick 3, you ask? Chad, why don't you do all these things? Your business could use all of these. You need to do some of these things. You're right. But like you, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I only have so much time. I can barely get my work done as it is. I know if I put all of these things on my plate, if I put all of these things down, I'm not going to accomplish any of them. But if I pick 3, and I focus on 3, and I know 3 of these gets me to my why. This gives me my profit that makes a difference in my life and the life of others. I can focus on 3 things. I can get 3 things done in 6 months. I know that. I've done that before. That seems easy. So I'm going to circle 3. And it's not just the 3 that make you the most money. These are the 3 things that you can easily do and that you're excited about. If you're not excited about these things as a business owner, if you're not excited about where they get you with your why, you still won't do it. You need 3 things that are doable, 3 things that excite you, and 3 things that are going to hit your 2021 profit. For me, my 3 things: hire a CPA, increase the price per customer, which really means I'm going to find more revenue inside my existing customers. I'm going to make more money per customer. Hire an assistant. I love these because they're going to help me get where I need to be, take my profit from $200,000 to $300,000. How do I know they're going to do that? I'm about to show you. I plug them into my roadmap. I'm all excited about it. That's what we're going to do. Here's how the numbers work. Here's how I know I can do this. This is why I started with the basics for you, because it's coming back around. If I don't know my basics, I can't lay these out to know they're going to work. I hire a new CPA. Year 1 for a new CPA in my business, they'll bill $115,000. I got to pay them $60,000. They come with experience. They come with titles. I got to give them $10,000 worth of benefits and health insurance. My cost of goods is $70,000. We're going to use a little bit of company overhead and expenses there. My profit off hiring a new CPA is $40,000. All I got to do is hire one person. My profit goes from $200,000 to $240,000. That's pretty easy. I'm not doing a whole lot of extra work. Great brainstorming session. Kind of sounds like a no-brainer idea. The second one, increase my revenue per customer. All right, let me think about that. How do I do that? Well, I got to provide value to the customer. I can't just charge them more. I'm going to implement mid-year tax planning. I'm going to offer June, July, August tax planning for my customer. I'm going to give them a steal of a deal. I'm going to do it for $75. We'll mid-year tax plan. We'll do it for $75. It's going to save you way more money in taxes, be way more beneficial for you, tons of value for you, a win for the customer, a win for the business. That's a no-brainer. June, July, August, that's our slowest times of year. I got 2,100 clients right now. I'm banking on around 1,200 of them will come in and do mid-year tax plan, and they'll pay $75. That is another $90,000 in revenue for my business. I'll pay some commissions. I'll have a little overhead. I will clear $60,000 by creating a way to provide more value to my customer. It is a win all the way around. That came out of my brainstorming session. That is my second win. My third win, I'm going to hire an assistant. This assistant is going to take me out of some day-to-day weeds. Don't have to focus on emails as much. Don't have to answer the phone as much. Don't have to file paperwork. All the busy stuff, all the things that I'm not very good at anyway. I can focus on high-value items, which means I can bill more, and I can go out in the community, and I can do things like this that allow me to bring in new customers. That alone is probably going to be a $100,000 difference in profit. So when I combine these 3 wins together, my win number 1 is hiring a CPA. My win number 2 is do tax planning for customers mid-year. My win number 3 is hire an assistant. I put these together in my model because I know my basics. Look at this. Boom. $215,000 in profit, additional profit. I was just trying to go from $200,000 to $300,000, which seemed freaking crazy 10 minutes ago. Now I'm at $415,000 in profit, and it seems easy. If you brainstorm, you pick 3 wins, you lay it out on your basics, every single business can do this. I know some of you are thinking, well, that's different. My business is different. It's not. Whether you're selling t-shirts, whether you're a real estate agent in town, whether you're a tax office, it's all the same. If you're a real estate agent, what are some brainstorming things you can do? Maybe you can do some podcasts. Maybe you can start something on social media, build more clients that way. You can go in 10 Sundays a year and answer the phone and take incoming calls. You can go subscribe to pay for some of the things like Zillow and different things. You can hire more agents to work under you. You can do something awesome like give back and plug into the community and build a brand around making things a win for everybody. All of these are ways you can brainstorm no matter what business you have or what you are doing. You can brainstorm, you can find 3 wins. I guarantee it. I've seen it done over and over and over. I've done it in my business. I've done it in my personal life. It works. It takes me from $200,000 in profit in 2021 to $415,000. More than double my profit. I know my why. I'm excited about it. I know I can do it. So you're like, all right, let's go win. Let's do this. Not so fast. This is where 90% of businesses fail in this exercise. You can't just set the target and pick your wins and say, go do it. It doesn't work that way. You will fail every time if you stop here and run out the door and start tackling your 3 wins. You have got to build the steps to achieve each win. This is big. You're going to set a timeline. I'm going to achieve each win in 2 months. This is a 6-month project to double my profit. Why would I not do that? These are things I'm excited about anyway, but you've got to build 5 steps to each win. That's the key to what I'm teaching you here. You've got to have the 5 steps. That is what makes the difference. That is what's going to get you there. I need you right now to repeat after me. I must implement the steps. Come on, one more time. I must implement the steps. Yes, now we're talking. So 5 steps for each win. You've got 3 wins. You had a fun little brainstorming session. Now we're going to implement 5 steps. I'm going to quickly walk you through one of mine to show you how easy it is. Hire a new CPA. What are my 5 steps? I'm going to lay it out right now. It took me less than 10 minutes to do this. I'm going to determine what the person looks like. What does this person look like? What skills do they need to have? What culture do they fit into? How do they fit into my company? I need to lay out in my mind exactly what this person looks like. My second step, I got to educate myself. I need to know how to hire a new CPA. I need to listen to some podcasts on hiring. I need to maybe read a book on hiring. I need to plug into some different blogs or news feeds or something, tell me more about hiring. I need to learn what CPAs and what their experience level is and where the best place to hire is. So I'm going to get a little education behind it. Not going to take very long. It's not going to take a whole lot of work. My third step, I'm going to advertise. I'm going to place an ad on Indeed. I'm going to place an ad on ZipRecruiter. But I'm not just going to put an ad out there. I'm going to determine how to pre-qualify. I'm going to have questions. I'm going to make the candidates answer questions. I'm going to make them pre-qualify. I'm going to say what this position is, how they win working with me, and also the culture they're going to have to fit into. This is big. I'm going to take a lot of the work by doing some things on the front end out of that application process. This is big. This is something else I need you to take away from this. This is something you want to write down. When you're hiring somebody, talk to your friends, your family, and your current clients. Nobody understands your business more than your friends, your family, and your current clients. They know your culture. They know who you are. So you tell them who you're looking for. They will help fill this for you. This is big and makes the hiring process way easier. Once I do that, I'm going to set interviews. I'm going to interview a few people, and here's another key tip. This is something I've learned through my mistakes. I'm going to have my 2 candidates that I narrow it down to come in and actually do some work. I'm going to have them come in after 5 o'clock. They're going to do some tax returns. They're going to perform a payroll. They're going to plug in some accounting. I need to see, number 1, did they like doing this? Do they know what they're signing up for? Number 2, how do they fit in our environment? Are they going to be successful? Once I do those, I select one, I hire them, I put in a training plan, done. I just increased my profit by 40 grand through 5 steps. This is all it takes. Brainstorm, select 3 wins, put 5 steps with it. It's just that easy. I don't ever get hung up in the process. I know my steps before I start. I know my why. I know my when. And I know what the money at the end of the day is going to be when I implement this. And then once I do that, I'm going to go into step 2. Step 2 is going to make me another $60,000 in profit. After that, I'll go on to step 3. Step 3 is going to make me another $100,000 in profit. Each step is very similar. I have my wins, I have my 5 steps, I walk through that process, I put it on my calendar, I know what to expect, I know what I'm excited about, and I crush my 2021 goals because I've just laid it out and I made it easy. I'm a business owner, I have 1,000 things going on, I need it to be easy for me. And that's what we're looking at here. Now, if you do these things, if you will go back and you will brainstorm and you will set a profit 2021 goal, you will call your shot, you'll circle your 3 wins, and you'll build the steps. I guarantee you, you will make your business financially stronger. Maybe it's not your business. Maybe it's your personal household finances. It works there too. No matter where you implement this, or no matter what size business or personal financial situation we're talking about, you will win by doing these things. You will crush it in 2021. I know it, I've seen it, I've implemented this with clients. It works every time. But here's the deal. We're going to do a bonus section. We're going to learn how to protect that. We're going to go one step further as a business. We're going to get even stronger. We're going to find out what are the 3 things that could derail us. What do we all know? It is 2020. Not what we expected. It's a pandemic. Oh my goodness. The world has threw a monkey wrench into our business plans in 2020. But here we are. Some businesses were destroyed because of this pandemic. But other businesses that were prepared thrived and saw opportunity. So we're going to look at how you can thrive as a business. Not only are we going to achieve our profit number, we're going to protect it by thinking about 3 things that can derail us. We're not going to spend a lot of time on these. We just got to acknowledge these exist, and we got to protect against it a little bit. Let's go back to Lauren's road trip example. Let's go back to driving to San Francisco. When we go back to driving to San Francisco, what are 3 things that would keep Lauren from getting there? Number 1, wreck the car. Definitely not going to make it to San Francisco if you have a wreck. Lauren may get hurt. The car's definitely going to get hurt. Not going to finish the trip. Number 2, blow up the engine. The engine blows up, runs out of oil, something happens, can't get to San Francisco without an engine. Number 3, get lost. Get drastically lost, things go wrong, you're certainly going to lose time, you may not get there. So Lauren has to know in her trip, I just need to know and protect these 3 things. These are things that could happen to keep me from achieving my target, my 2021 goal, keep me from getting to San Francisco. So as we come back to the example with my tax office, these are the 3 things that could derail me. These are the 3 things that keep me from hitting $300,000 in profit, or maybe even $415,000 in profit. The first one, somebody quits. That takes me backwards. I can't let that happen. I got to make sure I'm aware of this and that my culture's good, people are paid fairly, people feel valued, and an important part of what we're doing. If somebody quits, I go backwards. That's bad. The second thing, COVID gets worse. I got to know this right now. I'm in the tax business. We make all of our money January, February, March, April. 4 months we make all of our money. COVID gets worse, clients can't come in, we're in real trouble. I've got to know that, and I've got to train my staff to know how to do tax returns on Zoom. They all got to have cameras. They got to know how to screen share. They got to know how to build an awesome customer service experience virtually. We can do that. Not a big problem. Number 3, competition. Somebody could open up down the street, try to take my clients, so I got to make sure I protect my customer experience. So I'm not going to plan a whole lot of steps around these. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time around these worst case scenarios. I just got to know they're there, because the wins and the steps and the profit target is how you crush it in 2021. This takes it a step further and teaches you how to protect it, to make sure you hit it at all costs. And if you do these things, if you implement these things, you are going to have a hugely successful 2021. This is how we get financially stronger. This is how we make our business stronger. This is how we increase profit. You do it through having a roadmap and having a destination, having the wins and the steps. It's the same no matter what you're doing. If you're trying to drive to San Francisco, if you're trying to build your business to $300,000 in profit, or if you're trying to climb a mountain. You can't leap to the top of a mountain, but you can take one step at a time and have a map, and you're guaranteed to get there. This is exactly what I'm teaching you here to do in your business. I know and guarantee if you will do these things between now and the end of the year and you will implement these things, you will achieve way more profit, way more financial success in 2021 than you ever dreamed. And you can take that and you can accomplish your why. You can make a difference in your life. That is what we're doing here. That is the difference we're making. I need you to go out, start your engines of your business, and get financially stronger in 2021. This is how. Thank you all very much. I want you to get stronger. We're going to get financially stronger. This is how you do it. And we're going to go out through the rest of the day and learn how to get stronger in other areas. Thank you all.
Chad is also the co-host of the Entrepreneur Adventure podcast. He wasn't listening. I call him the co-host. We have a podcast together, and I call him the co-host every time. He's like, come on, man, when can I be the host? Like, stop saying this co-host stuff. But I won't, because I have the mic on right now, and his mic is turned off. Hey, you know one way to get stronger is to eat. You guys ready for lunch? Apparently there'll be a short line for the Chick-fil-A. Who's ready for lunch? Seriously, come on, y'all. You get some energy in you. The lunch is in the atrium. I want you to do this thing. I want you to eat fast, okay? Because we want to be back in here. It's 12:09 right now. But it doesn't take long to eat Chick-fil-A because it's so daggone good. Scarf it down. Let's be back in here at 1 o'clock.